Gemini, Sun, Moon, Rising, June 2025 is going to help you live long and prosper. You're going to increase your financial wellness, mostly through career, beginning in June, add a year. Thanks, Exalted Jupiter. There's some positive developments happening with things you do behind the scenes at home alone, and a likely indication of some prosperity and success connected to homeland, property, and real estate. For some of you, maybe even moving. Let's get going and talk about the month of June 2025. I'm so excited for this month. We got 4 planets changing signs, a breath of fresh air, a sea change from April and May. We have exalted Jupiter and dignified Venus in their home kingdoms or their exaltation zone. So it's a mostly good sky. Well, caveat, some square to Saturn can bring a little slow start, but we have mostly good stuff going on. So let's talk about the idea of this astrology. It is general bell curve astrology. A personal reading with an astrologer is going to be more accurate, of course, but you can listen today for your sun sign, that's your career and purpose, moon sign, home and home related matters. And if you're listening for your rising sign, you're listening to anything that might pertain to circumstantial changes in your life. For your rising sign is the avatar in the game of life, the video game of life, or in the simulation, it's the character you're playing. So let's talk about the sky for you. Every time I put out my all signs videos each month, and I put a lot of love into them, I share with you what I'm doing first. I hope this is okay. I want you to know about what I'm doing because it's important to me. My 6th-time teaching Sky Reader is happening in July and August, 6 weeks live with me to time your best life, to be your own astrologer. If you've always wanted to learn enough basic understanding of your astrology chart to use some easy timing tools, forecasting tools, especially ancient ones, and come check it out. The description of the course is in the description box under my video. The early bird discount sign up list to get advance notice of when the enrollment opens and get a discount is in the description box below. And my 2025 All Signs bundles are only $33. That's half price now. There's more than half a year left. Well, there will be half a year left in June. Check it out below. $33 for 12 hours. 24 hours of video content, 2 hours for each sign, plus a PDF guidebook, separate information for each sign. You can listen for sun, moon, and rising, share with friends and family. Let's get rolling now. And all the information about that is in the description box below. All right, Gemini, sun, moon, rising sign. I like to sort of rotate the chart for your edification, and let's get started. Now, as we begin this month, you're still dealing with the tail end of Jupiter moving through the sign of Gemini, where he's been since May of 2024, giving you various degrees of luck and success and prosperity, with a reminder that he bites off more than he can chew in Gemini. And plus, he had a retrograde. So some of it's been good, but not great, but it's been better than most years. And now Jupiter is finishing that up in this month of June and getting ready to move into your earnings house, which is a big news story. When Jupiter moves there, you're going to begin to live long and prosper. You're going to have greater career success. Work will be going well, but we'll cover that shortly. First of all, let's stay with the chronological order of the events of this month in our half hour together today. Venus begins the month with a conjunction to Uranus. What do we like about that? I mean, Uranus with a conjunction to Chiron. What do we like about Chiron and Venus? Well, it's an attempt to soothe the wound that's been bothering you on and off since 2019 about belonging to groups of friends, social circles and groups of belonging, and feeling not quite in the right zone, like not with the right group, not with the right tribe, not with like fitting in, or some wound around the way in which you earn the money you earn. You might be making money and having great career gains, but feel somehow off purpose, not completely there. I have a progressed Gemini sun. I have to say, being a weather girl of astrology may fall short of my long range goals and dreams, and I may feel a little bit wounded there. Let's just call a spade a spade. No, progressed planets are not as important, by the way, not as important as your natal sky, but they add a layer of meaning. That's why you can take a course with me and learn about this stuff. Now, one thing I will say to you about the sky here is that as Venus comes into that contact with Chiron, she begins to love up Jupiter. And so already on June the 1st, you feel the sextile building, which is pretty precise around the 4th and 5th of June. And so the first whole week of the month has got a very nice blessing as Venus in the house of career gains flows to Jupiter in the sign of you, your sun, your career, your moon, your home-based matters, and your rising sign, anything about your life, including your health. This can be good for turning points in your health that are positive. This can also be really importantly, effectively giving you some greater success in your career, more recognition, more gains in your earnings in your career, more personal visibility and success, more celebrity. And those things feel pretty nice in the first week of June. Allies, benefactors, and a sibling one older than you, people who want to help you come out of the woodwork in the first week of June. You may be invited on someone else's podcast. You may show up in the public eye in a very beautiful and very positive way. Now, that little lovely little beginning of the month is also accompanied by a Mercury sextile Mars, which is also very positive. Mars is making decisions and taking actions in your third house of social media, neighbors, and neighborhood. And for some Geminis, he's already been here since mid-April. It often means a move or a change of neighborhood. I have a progressed sun and I am moving to a new neighborhood. I have a new home that I'm moving into in June. So this did live to, fulfill the promise for me, but it's also passion, drive, ardor, and decisions in social media, writing, communicating, teaching, all of that. These are third house storylines, even taking road trips and traveling short distances. That's been true mid-April to the mid part of May when he leaves. So he's still here in your third house as we begin this first week. And he has a mercurial moment. This is good for negotiations, contractual agreements, and communication that you are directing regarding success and momentum in writing, teaching, social media, short distance travel. This could be literally booking a trip, and so we're seeing this taking place as an action story in the first week of June, pretty precise right here around June the 4th, 5th, and 6th. So you might take the trip or plan the trip. You may initiate something powerfully successful in your third house of online teaching, writing, communicating, but it looks like a positive and very positively blessed by Jupiter, lucky direction to go. I certainly would book a trip, especially if it involves a significant long-term partner, because Jupiter rules that. And this is a good getaway local trip. I love it for you, especially with the moon in Libra. It looks like a romantic getaway trip could be super juicy for anybody in a long-term committed love story in that first week of June, particularly, let's say, the 3rd to the 6th of June. Now, on the 7th and 8th of June, Mercury will fall into Jupiter's arms. Oh, yes, here I am. And the two of them equals good news. You're getting some good news. Now, if it's your rising sign, maybe about your health or your personality, or if it's your sun, about your career, your vitality. If it's your moon, good news about your home life. Whatever their Gemini position is here, it's going to be a Jupiter-Mercury moment. And you're going to feel it coming into play 7th, 8th, and into the 9th of the month. So good news is really activated most intensely on the 8th of the month, but it builds up in the day or two before. Good news. That's what it is. I don't know what to tell you. It could be very healing too of your chironic wound around belonging, or chironic wound in great gains of career. And yes, you have this little alert. We have some good news for you. And tell me what the good news is in the comments when it happens, because it's very once every 12-year kind of good news is playing out here. Now, as we move forward into the next part of the story, Mercury is going to also square Saturn. And that's because Mercury makes a sign boundary change. 4 planets change signs. Mercury leads the way, and Venus also has changed signs. So let's talk about those 2 sign boundary changes. On June the 6th, Venus moves into the sign of Taurus, and then on June the 9th, Mercury moves into the sign of Cancer. Well, first of all, Venus, after a couple of months in your 11th house, is finally ready to leave. You might have been getting some kind of social media glow up, or some kind of good news or good vibes in your career gains itself. Maybe, making some stellar success stories in the career gains itself. But now Venus is going into the 12th house, and she'll be here on June the 6th, and she doesn't leave your 12th house till July the 4th. What would you use this for? Well, it's good for money you make from far off places, digital revenue, borderless income, marketplaces from foreign people, money from foreign companies, all of that. That's wonderful. She'll give you more of that. and some surprises as well. She can give you pleasures, bed pleasures, pleasure at home alone, pleasure in your downtime, creative time that is extremely productive and pleasurable. It's really good for coming to terms with any self-undoing and addictions and finding the sweet spot, the moderation spot. Venus is very solid in her home kingdom of Taurus. When Venus is traveling here as well, you may want to travel to some distant shores for pleasure and leisure. And certainly when she enters in here, we still have Mars in your third house. So again, romantic, bed pleasure, leisure, a creative time away, travel, sanctioned, yes, go for it. That would be really a lovely way to use that ingress, particularly between June the 6th and the 17th for the travel part. And then what we also notice is that Mercury moves into Cancer on June the 9th. Now he'll be here until June the 26th. This is an earnings house. Mercury is a marketer, seller, a communicator, a negotiator, and a tabulator. So you might be looking at your earnings, doing some accounting. You might be focused on communicating, marketing, and selling. Often here he will sell things. You might sell possessions, but sometimes he's involved also in how you speak, and speaking becoming very important and very important to career success indeed. So there's a whole theme of how you could use Mercury in that second house, especially negotiating new job opportunities as well, because then Jupiter will follow Mercury the very next day on the 10th. Now we have luck in communications through marketing and selling, career success, speaking engagements, negotiating new deals regarding contracts for work and career. Yet both of these planets are squaring Saturn. And so there's also a need to be realistic, to come to terms with realism, with a long game strategy for your career gains, to remove yourself from overly fantastical thoughts and to create a more measured pace. Because Jupiter with Mercury here is like, the sky's the limit. We're going to go big or go home. And then Saturn says, wait a minute, we want a long game. We want things that are going to go the distance, that are moderated, that are perseverant, that are realistic. So Jupiter's being tempered with Mercury in order to bring you changes in your career gains that are going to be very profitable, but you may not see the profits yet. You may need to get out of the month of June so that that square is no longer sort of raining on Jupiter's parade, but that is a tempering, and that Saturn's advice and guidance was a sage-like wisdom is so you don't bite off more than you can chew, and that the way these in career prosperity gains are going to unfold is in alignment with what's realistically possible for you. Now, Jupiter here can make you very hungry to put things in your mouth. He's exalted, right? Like, give me more, give me more. But the good news is he does have a broad sextile to Venus. So you're going to be able to moderate your desire to be gluttonous in oral pleasures, right? So there's that too. This is just a very beautiful transit too when Jupiter enters the second house for things to do with your teeth, your face. You know, Jupiter will blossom up good things regarding the face, the teeth, you know, beauty, all of that. Eventually, Venus will join him in the summertime. And when those two come together in August, it's really good for facial beauty and all of the things to do with aging well, so to speak. Now, and of course, financial bonus points on the game board. I did talk about prosperity. That's because with Jupiter's year-long transit through your second house, last seen 12 years ago, it tends to increase your wealth. But this is also different than any other time because we'll have the North Node moving through your 10th house of worldly success. So worldly success, achievements, career and earnings are all on the upswing. Thank you to this year ahead. So you don't really get the full Monty in June, but you begin to feel the taste of it, the flavor of it, the essence of it, the hint of it. And you get the realistic participation of Saturn in the career house. Saturn can represent an older person, an authority figure, someone of great stature and authority in your career gains house. And therefore you may have meetings with that kind of person in the month of June, connections so that you can strategize and plan greater prosperity in your career. Ultimately, that's one of the other ways to look at it. Now, as we move forward and we look at the Mercury, we did that, Mercury, Jupiter square Saturn, we move into a June 10th, 11th full moon. And the full moon is in Sagittarius. Take a look at this, would you? Let's get us up to the 11th or so. The moon will be full at 20 degrees of Sag in your 7th house of marriage. Well, hey, this is illuminating the house of committed love, long-term love, business partners, audience, marketplace, full light. Seeds are planted here. Last November, you planted a new moon seed here. Now you got a fullness of fruition and fulfillment for seeds planted in that house. Now go back to November and think about how you were doing in your long-term committed love stories and how you approach your audience and clients and marketplace, how you approach business partnership arrangements, legal contracts. Now that is full and that is being lit and that is being revelatory as well. So having a full moon here is very positive in the sense that there forms a trine to Mars and a trine to Chiron. We call that a fire trine. And this fire trine is initiative and bold daring in the houses of desire, the Kama houses. It's good for the following things. This moon enlightens and fulfills something to do with committed love. It helps heal a Chironic wound with how you make money from your career, your earnings and gains, or belonging to groups. And it fulfills a shift or a change, thank you, Mars, to do with social media, online world, teaching and learning, traveling, and your daily habits in life, in the neighbors and neighborhood environment. Now, it could be because you are moving. Some of you may have already moved in the last 2 months or arranged to move. You may meet somebody new. You may fall into a new love story because of a relocation story. Or if you're already with somebody, this can fulfill a move together to some new place. Or your career gains can be amplified because of a new ability to dynamically activate social media, learning, teaching environments, and fulfill a larger light in the house of the audience. This can really give you a glow in your outreach to your marketplace or your public as well. It'll give you initiative, fire, daring, and power. Look forward to the first 2 weeks after this lunation. June 11th, add 2 weeks for evidence of that. And over the 6 months that follow, a greater fulfillment of the role of this lunation. And if you've been having any issues in a long-term committed love relationship, this moon will attempt to give it some support so that maybe Chiron says, let's heal that relationship in some way. Let's fortify that relationship in some way. Now, June the 12th, Venus will sextile Mercury. And this is good news as well. Mercury is always delivering information and news. You'll feel it on the 9th, on the 10th, 11th, and 12th, good financial news, basically, or good news connected to backroom deals and negotiations, good news connected to things going on behind the scenes of your life. And good news related to health matters as well, because you are also getting some support here. Mercury rules your body. So good news about health-related issues as well showing up for you around June the 11th. On June the 11th, 12th. And on June the 12th, we have Mars squaring Saturn on Mars squaring Uranus through to the 16th. 12th to the 16th is shocking or surprising energies for the world. I'm not happy about that. I keep hinting at Iran. We'll be doing a video on that in my mundane astrology. But you're not a country and you're not a war. So Mars is going to give you a surprising shock vis-a-vis Uranus, connected to traveling, teaching, learning, neighbors. Now, it could just be disruption. You have a trip plan and there's a disruption in your trip because Uranus is disruptive, right? Sudden unexpected changes, especially if it's to a distant shore, but travel in general. A disruption or a change in a travel plan would be an easy way to code June 12th to the 16th. A surprise regarding a sibling one younger, aunts, uncles, nieces, and nephews. It comes out of the blue and you didn't see that. Venus is protecting some of this. It's not as harsh as it could be because Mars will say, well, we need to take action. We need to make decisions. Well, we're going to cancel the trip, rearrange the trip. What are we going to do here? Does it involve matters to do with a sibling one younger than you? Does it have matters to do with nieces, nephews, aunts, uncles, cousins, extended family, and disruption around plans or travel? Maybe some disruption regarding teaching, learning, neighbors and neighborhood, maybe a gnarly discontent amongst the neighbors. Who knows? But it's kind of, Uranus is in the 12th house. So it's kind of also very subtle in some ways. You may not be right on top of it. You may be having a hard time figuring out what it is that's going on here. Venus has got a protective edge. I like that. I like that a lot. Could it be a breakthrough, break free moment? Of course it could be. But Mars is square, so it requires immediate actions and decisions regarding an unexpected circumstance, June 12th to the 16th, and it may involve travel. On June the 15th, Jupiter squares Neptune. Jupiter square Neptune. Well, Guru squares Guru, teller of truth, truth itself, squares obfuscation and illusion. So there's an element, June 15th to the end of the month, of being able to see what's real and true in your finances, connected to your career gains over the long haul. Maybe even some truth you'll be able to perceive about friendship groups and groups that you thought were your people. And now you're seeing something new and different, because you see Jupiter also really wants you to prosper. And so he may remove you from groups of friends and social groups that are not going to prosper you up. And you may make some changes to your long range goals and plans so that you can prosper, because now you're being a realist and the illusion is falling away and the truth is being known to you. You want to make money in a way that's true to you. And now you can see clearly how your career gains, because Jupiter rules your career, can be more fine-tuned towards authenticity, truth, and goodness. So it'll definitely keep you from chasing the paper and seeing what's real and true and meaningful to you in your career as it pertains to prosperity. On June the 19th to the 21st, Mars will sextile Jupiter. And this is dynamic, positive energy for true action, good momentum, prosperous momentum. Now, the momentum happens because now Mars, fourth planet to change signs, moves into your fourth house. Now, because your fourth house is your home and your real estate and your property and where you're living, well, then maybe there's something going on about spending money. Jupiter is very generous here. Mercury likes to buy and sell, spending money aggressively for things you need in and from your home. Simple, right? But things go well and swell and you get what you need. Or you're looking at renovating, doing something, constructing something to do with your home, and Jupiter gives you the money you need for it. Or you're taking some aggressive action to travel from your home, because Mars likes to travel away from home down here, and you have the money and prosperity in order to make the trip happen. Whatever is going on, it's like, it feels good. And you're going to feel this June 19th to the 21st. Someone may go out of your home. Someone may leave your home who's in your home, June 19th to 21st, but Jupiter blesses that leave taking, and it feels good because Jupiter rules your long-term marriage house. If you're going to have an ending in a relationship with a cohabitational long-term partner, Jupiter says it's all good, blessed be, it's going to go well. It's exactly as it should be. Just saying. June 21st, the sun is going to shift into the sign of Cancer. This is our solstice ingress and conjunct Jupiter. What a beautiful solstice, and Mercury co-present. This solstice is opening up energy fields of goodness in the second house of prosperity for you over the course of the 3 months that follow the solstice. So keep that in mind. And as the sun enters into this part of the chart, the sun also squares Saturn, sun conjuncts Jupiter. It's that same story. Yes, you're going to get more prosperous, but you're being realistic, being authentic, and being true. Long-range goals and plans are measured, considerate, and strategic. And the sun adds the light to the prosperity house and asks you to look closely at it. This is ideal for also shining a spotlight on your dietary style and eating habits, with Venus saying we can moderate on things that aren't good for us, especially substances. And that exalted moon with Venus on the ingress helps you do that. Now, I do want to say that if you are looking at a spotlight in the second house, the spotlight is also on things you eat and also things you put in your nose. So those substances are being highlighted so that you can moderate them. Thank you to Venus in her dignity in your 12th house of addictions. Yes, it's going to be good for the wine lover's middle way for me in my progressed Gemini sun. All right, so then one thing I want you to notice is the sextile to Mars. So the sun and Jupiter sextiling Mars, again, that same story, a spotlight on spending, earnings, buying, selling, money making, savings, and things to do with your home, and positive directionality there. And we feel that to be true around June the 21st to the 25th. Okay, we have a full moon, the new moon on June the 25th. The moon will enter into the sign of Cancer, and around 4 degrees of Cancer, a fresh start, a new beginning in food style, habits and dietary patterns, earnings and savings and resources and spending, all brand new, all fresh and new. This is a very prosperous energy for you guys. This is going to look like a whole beautiful, blessed 6 months ahead as this unfoldment of a new beginning in the earnings house begins. It's the first 2 weeks after the moon of June 25th. You'll see evidence for a robust prosperity, luck when it comes to getting a dream job, luck when it comes to work, luck when it comes to health, because this blesses the 6th house of health, the 6th house of work, the 10th house of career. All the Artha houses light up. So you're going to see yourself in a light of success in your career, in your earnings, and in your health, and in the work and the work routines, and also your daily routines as well. This is a beautiful new beginning. It will give you the power over the 6 months that follow to also deal with, dental work, facial stuff, and do really well. And because Mercury's co-present, is ideal for marketing, selling, speaking, and communicating and prospering. New ideas can blossom here that bring you great financial success. And I'm trying to think of anything else to tell you, because I'll be doing a whole video on it. It's definitely good for your health. Jupiter rules your first house. So it's also really good for your home life. Now, on June the 26th, Mercury sextiles Uranus for an unexpected surprise information, news, phone call, or text message. It's going to come without warning, obviously, because it's Uranus. It's like a lightning bolt. It's a tower. It's protected by Venus, and it's about money. We make money in the 12th house. We do digital income, borderless revenue, right? We do online PayPal, Stripe accounts. We make money here because we make money from a foreign shore, foreign people, foreign company, and a jolt or surprise of good money story, unexpected increase financially around June 26, or a surprising amount of success financially. You may have illumination or insights from dreams, meditations that are breakthrough or regarding how you wish to prosper, how you wish to make money, and how you wish to market and sell stuff. And a breakthrough idea could come to you through a sleep, a meditation, a dream, a reverie around June the 26th. On June the 27th, Mercury enters into Leo. Will be there for 2 whole months until September 2nd. This is a retrograde place. You're going to hear from friends from your childhood. You're going to go back over. Old teachers will come out of the woodwork. Old teaching projects will come back. Old writing projects will be taken off the shelf to work on in July. We're not there yet, but you get the idea. And Mercury in your 3rd house. Wow, it's really good for your social media life. It's really good for your online platforms. It's really good for writing projects and communicating projects. So that's going to give you a great role all through July, all through August. I'll be teaching Sky Reader with my Forrest Gemini sun during this luscious transit. So the teaching should go very well. And, when Mercury first enters, he crosses his gaze with Pluto. So June 26th to the end of the month, 27th to the end of the month, there's an opposition to Pluto with a tension broken by Saturn. And what I could say, Saturn and Neptune, it's kind of like a cathartic, powerful regeneration in the house, in the angle of travel and teaching, with steadfast Saturn giving you stability in the career gains. But the Pluto thing at first could feel really intense, but it's also like X-ray vision. So something about understanding, knowing, or seeing clearly. You can get money and power off of this, though, because it's activating the 11th house of great gains. So, but you would be saying travel, teaching, publishing, these sorts of things. A book publishing deal could come off as something like this as well. Mercury represents agents. If I ever get my poor Eileen anything together for her for a book proposal in my busy, busy life, I should aim for June the 27th. All righty. And that's what I've got for you. Don't forget, if you want to join me in my Sky Reader class, I'd love to see you there in class with me. July and August, I can tell you it's going to go well. I can see my own sky. It'll be my 6th time teaching it. I've got it down to a fine art, but I add new content every time, and I answer questions, and we have weekly Q&As, and we have the course content. It's live so that if you get stuck in any place, you can actually keep asking questions of me or some of my assistants in my Facebook group. If you want to join us on the Facebook group, you can do that too. See you guys in class, I hope. Ciao, ciao. I'll see you on the next video.